Hello. Hi, how are you? Welcome and thank you so much for being here, making sure this thing is on. It's really sunny out. I cannot see my phone. So let's get you some clarity. We're going to start with the tea leaf and get some opening messages that would be the most helpful for you. This reading's timeless. It's collective. See what feels like it resonates, like it fits. And always follow and trust that divine guidance that is in you, your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer is in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound and based in love for the highest and greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. We're going to start with the whole deck. So let's just get a couple of opening messages here. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love, for the highest and greatest good of all. Huge deck of cards here, 200 cards, and you got this tankard again. I just love saying that word. It's such a weird word. So it's a party, it's a celebration. It means that you're about to have some fun. If things have been a little bit bland and boring, there is either a really fun event, a fun partnership, a certain, I actually hear a series of events that are going to unfold for you. Ooh, so maybe it's even somebody you meet somewhere, you make more plans to do something else, celebration, fun, enjoyment. I also forgot to mention to all my beautiful Virgos out there, if you have a Virgo birthday, happy birthday. I hope you're enjoying it the whole month. Why celebrate a day when you can just keep it going for a month? So let's get another extra message on tankard and fun, joy. I just heard entertainment. Maybe you're, I want to say like you're the entertainment, but maybe you just have a big personality, or maybe there is somebody in particular that's just kind of entertaining for you. I am getting kind of a funny energy, not like smelly funny, but like somebody that cracks you up. Maybe somebody has an interesting sense of humor. I don't know, maybe it's a dirty sense of humor. I feel like whatever sense of humor a certain person has, you get them. Or maybe that's you that has an interesting sense of humor. I'm kind of getting that there's somebody who just, you know how cute it is when someone just kind of laughs at themselves, laughs at their own jokes. They kind of don't give a shit if somebody else gets it or not. I'm kind of getting that kind of personality. So what else would be helpful? I hear coordination. Maybe somebody's kind of a klutz, but maybe they have great reaction time. But I actually see some of you coordinating something. So maybe you are coordinating an event, a party, a gathering, a date. I'm getting all these messages now. I just see somebody like, I don't know. I see somebody knocking something off the table, but then like catching it like a ninja. So maybe somebody is a klutz, but they have like really, really good reaction time. I feel like that maybe that's an energetic imprint I'm getting so many random messages so far with just this tankard. So I do feel like there is like a moment where, I don't know, it's like kind of, let's just go with that thing. Somebody knocks something over and they like catch it crazy. I feel like somebody's gonna look at a moment and be like, please tell me somebody saw that. And somebody will, and or maybe it's even, I don't know, I see you filming something kind of spontaneous and accidental. I don't think this was a planned situation, but I am getting that it's kind of funny. Yeah, I see somebody like opening up their phone and like showing everybody, like you see what happened? You have this arrow coming in. So this is having clear direction. Maybe you're gonna hit the target. It's also telling you that maybe following this joy is where you know you're on the right path. So maybe that is where a series of events opens up for you. You're on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. I heard 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but I am getting kind of that's how you felt in the past. So maybe you did have to backtrack something. I feel like now you're 1 step at a time, but then I see somebody stepping and then skipping and then running, and then flying. So there is some kind of progress. I mean, even that arrow is flying in the air. It also looks like it's flying over like the Grand Canyon. So maybe there was like a dry spell. I'm getting like you were feeling kind of parched, like you needed to take like a sip of something, but I'm getting like a sip of life force. Maybe you feel more alive, like you're thriving. So maybe some of you are going in a different direction. It's definitely a direction that feels like the right way. And I'm getting that even if maybe there's some weird areas, maybe there's one place you're good, that direction, but there's other areas of your life you kind of feel like you're always back and forth, or, you know, 5 steps forward, 2 steps back, whatever. I feel like all those areas are going to start to be more in alignment once you follow that one direct, yes, this gives me reason to celebrate. Yes, this is my truth. Yes, this is where I feel that authentic joy and thriving and excited to even talk about it direction first. So what else? There's a lot off of 2 cards. Let's see if anything else pops out for you. Guess what you got? Another path. Guess what's on this path? Money. Oh, it's like you're on a treasure hunt. So you're definitely going the right direction. I feel like some of you are discovering your destiny, discovering who you were always supposed to be, but you had to get off path maybe a little bit, or have to have some experiences under your belt along the way. Maybe even, I mean, if some of you are going towards that joy and then you are gifted all this prosperity, it's because you are on the right path. You are provided for just when you need it, but you have to be the one to take steps forward on a certain road. I do feel like you're getting clues along the way. It's like, you know, there's these golden nuggets where you have one, you're like, oh, that's so beautiful, but then you see like a twinkle, you know, in the horizon just for you, and you're like, I think there's something else up there. Why stop here when there's like, I'm getting another milestone you can reach next, but I feel like you can foresee it. I definitely feel like something is twinkling for you. A path with money is waiting for you to find it, not for someone else. This is a path just for you. It's weird. I kind of feel like I see that desert, you know, or the Grand Canyon again. I feel like if somebody else is walking on that same path, those nuggets of wisdom or those clues don't twinkle the same as they do for you. So I am feeling like you somehow find some treasure in your life in a situation that nobody had the map for, because it's a divine map. Let's keep those. Those are awesome cards to start with. But since you have that path, the path times 2 and celebration here, let's do the traveler, the sacred traveler, and get you just a bonus message here. Clarity on tankard, anger. What did I say, anchor? That was a Freudian slip. I like combined arrow and tankard. Maybe you are releasing the anchor, or you felt anchored down to a weird situation, but maybe it's also recognizing where you see you want to land. That's where to place your anchor for something to gain some stability, to ground that energy. What's another message that would be helpful right now? Please and thank you. What is the main message that would be helpful? That this has something to do with you figuring it out alone in solitude. Maybe this is a path that's not meant for anyone yet to be on except for you. I also feel like you found this clarity when you went within. Maybe you asked yourself some deep questions. What really does bring you joy? You know, what areas of your life do you feel like it just flows? Where do you feel like you're always falling backwards? Where do you see the clues of that could be, I'm getting something you could do that no one else has thought of? Like really digging deep for this treasure here. But maybe it's digging deep inside of you, because that's where the answer is. It says, in silence, peace prevails. Maybe for some of you, there's a lot of ruckus, chaos, opinions, maybe just other people's energy around you. I even feel like with the solitude, I just see somebody like not going in the store right away, or not getting the groceries out of the car. They just want to sit in their car for 5-10 minutes and breathe, maybe even listen to some music, or I'm getting somebody writing down some notes. I am getting a journal out of this. So maybe some of you already have a journal. It could be a dream journal, synchronicity journal, just jotting down your thoughts, your inventions, your ideas kind of journal, your epiphanies before you forget them. I also feel like some of you had a good idea you never attended to. You put it on the back burner, you already wrote it down, you already started the plans. In silence, peace prevails. It's also recognizing if this is solitude with even another individual, it's where you feel completely out at peace, not having to talk or have a conversation, just peaceful in somebody's energy. In silence, peace prevails. I also feel like that has something to do with what some of you are seeking. I'm also getting with this tankard energy, some of you might have a job or just life in general is kind of, I see like busybody, you know, like you got a lot going on. There's a lot of people, a lot of things you have to do. Maybe some of you are really social or you do something kind of social for your job. I do feel like you need to have a little space, even if it's just at the end of the night, to just kind of go introspective. And I feel like there's something you need to process. It's funny, I'm getting that when you are like talking to a bunch of people or out and about, you had that nugget of wisdom that was right there, but it kind of passed you by. And I feel like spirit is going to come through and make something twinkle in your mind, like a big golden light bulb later. You're like, oh wait, that person said that. I feel like you're going to kind of put something together. So maybe it's not about that subject directly, but it's something that's going to come through that you connect it to. So I see you connecting two dots together of something that's very personal for you with something that you gained wisdom via conversation or overheard or something like that. Maybe that's why you're on this right path here. But I do feel like it's going to come when you're by yourself, maybe when you're lying in bed at night. I am also getting maybe in the middle of the night. If you get an idea in the middle of the night and you know you're a sleepy puss and you don't really like to roll over and jot something down, maybe just talk it in your phone. Don't lose that idea. It's coming to you for a reason, and you're gonna know what it is. But I do feel like for some of you it feels really big at first, but it's kind of like that dream. If you don't grasp onto it, at least write it down. You know, take a look-see at it later. It's gonna like kind of fade. All right, let's, whew, that was a lot. I feel like we should go to the career and life. Let's definitely do that. So, clarity on solitude, arrow, money, path, and tankard. What is the biggest message when it comes to life and career in general helpful for you today? What is the most prominent energy, message, insight, and wisdom helpful for you today? Ooh, I like that. You got a jellyfish. I am getting with this here. It is a little I did say something about happy birthday Virgo, so I am getting a little with this solitude and this jellyfish, because I feel like the jellyfish has that self-illumination, that bioluminescence to light up even the darkest areas of the ocean, to at least see their next swim ahead or next step ahead. And with this solitude energy, it is making me think of the hermit in the cave. So it's telling you that something doesn't have to be as hard as you thought. Maybe something was hard, but maybe that was to gain some wisdom. But you're definitely getting help here. You're getting signs, messages. I keep hearing epiphany, and I do keep seeing a big, like, golden light bulb. But it's interesting. Now I see it as see-through, transparent. So you have to kind of go with the winds of change, be that mutable energy, also like a Virgo, where you kind of just have to be adaptable. I'm getting even if you think something is solid and firm, there's going to be something that's going to kind of move you a different way. So allow yourself to move and at least see something from a different angle. What does the actual message say? It says the universe is sending you help, whether that's advice, clues, people, wisdom, direction. Tap into your inner power and go deeper to create the purposeful life that you want to have. This is very much North Node, destiny, you know, Dharma kind of energy. And it's where when you're on the path of your truth, your authentic energy vibration, you're so excited about. That's why everything I'm getting kind of feels like it's falling into place for you. I am very much getting that you need to release some worries, because in unexpected places, but through unexpected circumstances, you will be provided for exactly when you need it. Have faith. Sometimes the winds change direction to take you on a different path. I am also getting some balance in your life. I am seeing with this solitude, if some of you feel like you are a hermit, maybe, you know, in general or lately not feeling so social. I hear effort, like so much effort to go out and search for something that's fun. Maybe you do something fun that's in solitude, but I do feel like some of you need to join something. I don't know what that is, a team, a group, a class. Maybe call up some friends, a friend, because I feel like if some of you feel like you're lacking this like celebratory energy, you need to just start to take some steps, maybe not to go to the big party, but just follow that curiosity. I feel like the big celebration somehow will follow, but if some of you are invited to maybe just a party, I feel like you should go. Maybe it's even one of those things where, you know, you get a random invite or invitation, but who knows who you're supposed to meet at that party, or what conversation you're supposed to get in the flow of, and what will come about epiphany-wise during that convo. I also feel like for some of you, it's not directly at like a party or gathering. I just heard a meeting. And that could be anything. That could be work, or you could be meeting a friend. I feel like there's something that's going to come back around later. So maybe that's even, you do have help coming in. So maybe you have a conversation with someone and you mention you're looking for, you know, somebody to go on sassy dates with, or I just heard a babysitter. You're looking for a babysitter. You're looking for somebody that can help you in your yard. I don't know why I very specifically do see a fireplace. I see somebody building something. Maybe you're building something, or maybe it's for, I don't know. I heard sponsorship. I'm not sure what that is. Sponsorship on something you're doing. Maybe even like a private investor, something like that. I feel like something's going to come back around. Especially if you are having a conversation with someone in this energy of joy and enthusiasm, they can hear it in your soul that you're passionate about it. That's when people feel inspired to help you, because even if they don't know what you're talking about, they feel that vibrancy, that energy, that authenticity. And I feel like it does make people like want to get on board, or even just by word of mouth be helpful somehow. I hope that was helpful. Let's get an angel number. Solitude, in the flow, tankard, arrow, money, path. What is an angel number, please? And thank you. Angel number. I saw you taking all those steps and then skipping and then running and then flying. It's telling you don't stop, take a step, one step at a time. It's 5:35. I feel like somebody has to be somewhere at 5:30 and they're like 5 minutes late, maybe fashionably late. Maybe if you're always late, give some room for traffic. Let go of old beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you. Prepare. So you're preparing right now to step out of your comfort zone because it's starting to feel not so comfortable anymore. You're starting to get a little itchy that something doesn't fit you. And this is going to help you grow and expand. That's what we're here to do. That's beautiful. But it's that maybe you were the one backtracking or taking a step back when you should have been moving forward. So I feel like there's some kind of I see a new clarity in your mind, maybe in your consciousness, that when you see yourself, what is that, backpedaling or wanting to, you're going to kind of stop yourself in your tracks. Even if it's a pause, it's not a moving back, and then continue on. I am definitely getting more confidence that you are having in yourself, in a direction, in your decisions, following your intuition as well. So let's go to the tarot. I have this really pretty tarot deck. It's the Shadowscapes, but there's a lot of like little tiny details in it. So let's just see what the story is. Let's ask about your energy right now. What is the energy currently on the collective overall? What's the collective's energy today? Your energy is, what is this? Oh, your energy is grieving, mourning. But it's different because this is actually someone looking at what is still there, what's still available. There's a cup that's kind of floating away in the tide. There's two on this island, or the shore's edge here. But you have all of these little fairies around this girl offering this little fishbowl. So I am getting with that fishbowl, maybe you did feel like a fish out of water, or maybe there was something that happened when you had to backtrack, or maybe you did have to take some of this solitude time to heal, to get back into the flow with something. The Five of Cups is usually where somebody is feeling at a loss, but it's feeling like an emotional emptiness somewhere. But right now, there's actually a bowl on the floor that has little fish in it. There's only one spilled and one floating away. One you can't see and one that's full that she's looking at. So I am getting maybe a Pisces, Virgo, axis here. But when I looked at that at first, I thought it was the Page of Cups, which is usually an offer of a new, fresh start, new possibilities. Because once you take that conscious choice to, like, let's just say, you know what I saw before? It's kind of like that. All right, let's go back. You remember I saw somebody like knocking something off of the table or something like that and catching it? This is where you don't catch it. And now you just broke your favorite cup or a bunch of them. And it's somebody who's basically on a lighter spectrum here, is crying over spilled milk, but not just cleaning up the mess and moving on. If it is something big, it is still looking at that mess around you, getting through it, releasing what is no longer there or serving you for your highest good, and see how any situation you went through that felt like a loss gained you strength. Because you definitely have something that is being offered to you that you are holding and cherishing in front of you, and it looks like it's surrounded by this bubble of protection, and it's being offered by earth angels here, the little fairies. So clarify, why is the Five of Cups here in the collective's energy? I heard, well, I don't even have reason to celebrate. Like somebody, like almost, it made me think of like Eeyore. Like, why celebrate? There's no reason to celebrate. Nothing ever works out. I'm getting very much like a downer, glass half, tankard half empty kind of energy here. I do feel like somebody has to change their mindset. Yeah, life sucks sometimes. Sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes there is grieving and loss. And it takes a long time to heal or for something to get back in the flow. But it's looking more towards that light, reassessing how you see the same situation. The situation doesn't change, but how you look at it can. So, and that might not be your energy. You, I just heard maybe you're giving somebody else time to heal. Why is the Five of Cups here? What's going on? Let's ask about the outside energy around you. What is the outside energy around you? It's definitely release. It's whatever this said here, letting go of old beliefs, the old you. And you're not just shedding your old skin, you're becoming a freaking phoenix. You're becoming a whole new spiritual, magical being here. So death is really powerful. It's a Scorpio energy. It is definitely somebody who is not afraid to dive deep or has been down there and they had to figure out how to turn that, you know, that light on. It is completely letting go of the past. There is something that is done, it's gone. So it's not trying to keep one foot in that old pair of clothes that you've outgrown. It's getting excited to go to the store, go to your closet and put on that new outfit that fits so much better. Even if that's just an energy here. It's a new cycle that's coming in where you feel like you've totally transformed. So even if you go through similar-ish circumstances in the new cycle, you've transformed. So how you go through that cycle is not going to be like the past. Now these two together, I am seeing that maybe some of you are actually, I kind of feel like this is not immediate. I hear this could have been years ago. But you do have the Five of Cups and the Death card here. Now generally the Death card is seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, it's looking at the bright aspect instead of what is done and gone. But sometimes it's having acceptance, maybe that there wasn't closure in a certain situation. Maybe you had to walk away from that open door, but that door back there just kind of stayed open. Maybe you expected somebody to walk through with you and they did not. It could also be that some of you had somebody that transitioned to the spirit world, also just a part of living. You know, I feel like a lot of Western society puts such a taboo on the energy of death. Because I did just hear celebration of life. And I'm thinking of like I've read like the Tibetan book of living and dying, and there are other cultures where just the general mentality or societal structure and teachings are just so different than Western society, or, you know, from another part of the world. So I am getting that the situation, you know, is the same amongst all humans. I don't know why I just heard when we are born, we forget. When we die, we remember. There's something that you're going to get to remember sooner. Because if we knew our whole purpose, our whole destiny, our whole path, then we're not actually here in the lesson. It's like, you know, you get the answers to the exam without actually going through the lesson. You know, you skip to the ending of the story before you got to the good, juicy part. But I do feel like there's something where you're remembering a little more of your destiny, or you feel at least like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, even if you don't know exactly what it is, you don't have the exact answers to the test, you know you're on the right, you know, in the right chapter, on the right lesson, taking the right exam. There's something that's really going to resonate for you. And I'm also getting, maybe some of you are helping somebody go through a mourning process. And that is very much a process. I think I probably mourned for a good 7 years, losing my dad. I think it took 7 years. That's a really long time for me to finally feel like I was, you know, almost getting back out there. And I mean, it never quite goes away, but that doesn't have to be the loss of somebody physically either. Sometimes people mourn, you know, an ego death, who they were thought they were supposed to be, or who, you know, everyone thought they were supposed to be, might not be the truth of who they are becoming. It could be even the loss of a dream, a past dream. All of a sudden that past dream doesn't really fit anymore, but maybe you invested a lot in that dream. That can be really hard. There are many different ways to go through mourning. It doesn't just have to be losing a person. Sometimes it's harder to lose a person that you are disconnected to, that you had unconditional love for, and you know they're still here. So maybe it's like that for some of you. I hope some of that helped you guys. I just heard focus on the phoenix. There's also, I don't know what they are, an iris. I did just think of the Goo Goo Dolls song, Iris. It's like a purple iris down there. Can you see it? And I don't know why I saw those flowers. Isn't there a flower and it's called Birds of Paradise? But now that I look at that phoenix, it does make me think of those amazeballs birds that have the incredible feathers and like make the fun nests and do the dances, you know, for their mating process and all that. Maybe I can find a Birds of Paradise little video for you guys. I haven't watched one of those in a while. There's also in the sky like a nautilus shell. So maybe it is about not going one foot in front of another, but think of that one foot in front of the other as a spiral staircase that is also getting bigger and expanding. So now you're not only in continual movement, you have that feminine perspective of something where you look at every little angle as you move and not just something A, B, C, D. Because that 13 does add up to a 4, which is stability. But I also see the 4 to the 5 is maybe you were progressing, but maybe you were looking at how in the past you backtracked a little too much. Let's just get an extra message. What is the next step to look at? The next step for the collective, please and thank you. What's the next step? The next thing to have focus on that would be helpful. The next step, oh my goodness, you have these 2 5s. All right, the good thing about 5s is 5s don't last forever. This is just a minor arcana. The big boy or girl here is this death card. And you have the moon at the bottom. So maybe these were bottled up emotions. Maybe these are secrets that I feel like they're inside of you. I feel like this is actually that secret that your soul knew the whole time, the answer for. You just had to make that connection of unconscious to conscious, or, you know, your grounding ego to spiritual energy somehow. Because with the 5 of Pentacles here, it is feeling like you were left out in the cold. Not just left out in the cold, but maybe your finances took a dip, or there's something missing in your Pentacles world, which is people, places, things, anything in the what you can touch land. It's like you could have it all, but you always feel like there's something missing. I'm getting that for some of you, it was, I hear enthusiasm, but then I heard desire, that true desire of to do something, to, you know, be doing something meaningful, but I feel like it's personal. Oh, it's not. I definitely need my glasses, guys. Hold on. We don't have a 5 of Pentacles here, but even if that message came through, I feel like even when it's a human mess up on my part, it's still a message that needed to come through. But putting my old lady readers on here, it is not the 5 of Pentacles. It is the 4. So the 4 of Pentacles, well, I did see you on that treasure chest or that treasure hunt, right? You have this big dragon here holding on to that big coin. So maybe this is something you were holding on to a long time and you had to let it go. This could be somebody holding on to you like you were a treasure, and maybe they let you go. But if this is somebody that's hoarding something, or obsessing over something, or it's like that you know, the weird way to look at this card is like the my precious energy. It's being so scared that something's going to go away that you're smothering it to become expansive and different and change and evolve. There could have been an energy that was holding on to a person, a dream, a position, whatever it is, because they were, I just heard, petrified of losing it or of changing. But what happens is that energy starts to be so constricting that there's no in and out flow. You know, it's like you get all those coins, you're saving up for that vacation, but you just bury them in the backyard, you know, and then it's always like, no, I need more coins because, you know, I can't take off of work, I have to get the vacation. And you never go on the vacation. So what good are all those coins? What good is all the energy you were saving up to have that thing and you never actually have that thing that feels satisfying? Now it is telling you, if there was something that you need to be saving for and you were just frivolously spending, and this isn't money coming in and holding on to, but it's just going out the window, out the wayside, it is telling you, look at that flow, because there is a way. You're on the money path here. So how do you spend on things that take you further on your path, bring you this fun and enjoyment, to have some balance in your life, and even this rest and relaxation energy? But how do you also save something along the way? So let's just say there is a rainy day in the future. You know, you did something in increments to help you, you know, when you needed it. So it's rebalancing your energy to find stability, because I usually see this as the one that wants to be the emperor. They want to have all of this fancy stuff, but they never have that emperor status where they know when to invest or when to give up or how to build that kingdom bigger, because there's always like a block, there's like a big barrier on that kingdom instead of it expanding. If you have the moon here, I feel like it could be somebody holding on to how they feel about someone, but bottling it in and never expressing it. I feel like if somebody was holding something in, expressing it, I'm even getting a good old cry or a really weird conversation, could be the spark of that transformative energy. Because with this moon, sometimes it's secrets, illusions, it depends on how that moon is. You know, if you're out there walking in the woods and it's a new moon, you might run into a tree or, you know, stumble over a log or fall into the creek because you can't quite see where you're going. All the shadows look like they're, oh, what is that over there? What is that over there? It looks scary. So sometimes you have to be the one to have your own illumination through a dark environment so you can see at least the steps ahead and use all your extra senses to really tap into what is illusion and what is reality. Because I feel like there's something that's going on like in the dark that if you just saw in the day, in the clarity of the sunshine, all of a sudden what may have been a fear, it's not so scary anymore. But I feel like here it's somebody fearing their own emotions. You know, it looks like here somebody's struggling to hold on to something so tightly that, I don't know, it's like that beach ball. I always get with the moon, that beach ball thing. You know, if you got a big beach ball and you're like, no, I don't feel that way, or no, I'm not going to look at that, or no, that, you know, hurts too much, or no, oh, that would bring so much excitement, but I have to be responsible, whatever it is, because emotions go all over the place. But you're holding whatever it is down. Eventually, when you're not expecting it, you know, it slips up and all of a sudden it pops up out of nowhere and you're like, oh, I forgot about that emotion. Didn't want to address that 5 years ago. So there's something where once something is addressed, it feels so much better. It's also going with the tides of change as they come in, because that big old moon affects the flow of the ocean of emotion. It's interesting because specifically in this card, somebody's taking off their mask. Or at least looking at the mask they used to wear. Or maybe they just found that mask on the floor. They're like, huh, it's a really weird mask. There's also something on this person's hand that she has wrapped. So she is healing from something. She's healing from a wound, and that could be like a childhood wound, a wound from the past, or that could be something that's I'm getting resurfacing, almost like I said, fresh open wound again, and yet maybe it did happen in the past. This is also trusting that balance of your instinct, that just like gut feeling that you know, and your deep intuition. It's also looking at, I don't know where, I see like a lone wolf, because often there's like a wolf and a dog. Seeing maybe where your loyalty lies. I don't know why I saw maybe for some of you in the past that wound has to do with you, because this can be really selfish energy. It could be somebody that was in it for the gold, in it for the glory, but I'm kind of getting that wolf in sheep's clothing. Maybe that's why you have solitude. It's okay to be a lone wolf, or to choose where it is you should work alone. But then I see the loyalty of the dog, and I'm thinking of dog backwards is God. and I'm just thinking there is a place where your heart and your soul isn't only completely loyal to it, but I feel like somebody has that unconditional loyalty towards you. There's no need for a mask if you have that. That's someone that even if you have that mask on, and that mask is protection, or that mask is what, you know, society expects, there's somebody who can look in your eyes and see the soul of the truth of you, and that's actually really beautiful. Maybe you have to look in the truth of you too. I want to clarify that with just one more. But I want to use a different tarot deck. And I know this is a weird one, so I'm just going to look at what the foundation is. Let's see what's at the very bottom. To clarify the moon, which is number 18, and 13, death, the 5 of cups, and the 4 of pentacles. Tell us what the final foundational message is, please and thank you. Just going to take whatever is at the bottom. Foundational ending message, please. And now you have this Page of Pentacles. That's so cute. I know those are like old cards or something. I mean, these are Granny's postcards, but you're going to get a message. You're going to get a coin. I said a token of, I heard a token of appreciation. This is somebody who has a tangible offer for you, so you know the next step to take. Even if you're going through the rain, you're continuing on with those blooming flowers. You're like, it rains, it pours, bring my raincoat. You know, the Page of Pentacles is usually somebody willing to have a fresh approach to relearning something a different way, or unlearning what you thought you knew. Sometimes I do see it going back to this as sometimes just a conversation, a text, an invitation, but it has something that you can feel about it. So it's either like, hey, let's have this conversation and meet up to do this experience, to put effort in here. It could also be, I always see this as like, kind of like the little bookworm, you know, the teacher's pet, somebody that does the extra credit because they actually want to learn more than the other students, you know, and they want to put in that effort. So it's somebody that has a lot of potential, but it's still at that potential beginning phase here. You know, if you get really excited, let's just go to school here for a minute. You get really excited to sign up for that class to go to school, and you know, you went to the first 2 classes, you could have been the star student, but then you overslept, you know, you got off balance, you didn't know if it was worth your energy because you had a weird, I don't know, one weird lecture didn't really like groove with you, it wasn't what you expected, why even go back? It's where you have to keep going back to something to get better. You have to move from that Page's energy, which is a really small offer, to at least the experiences of the night, and then hopefully, you know, the expertise of the King and the Queen. So this could be a younger energy that has a lot of potential. Rain or shine, I do feel like this is somebody who wants to show up. It also looks like, because they're holding flowers, I just heard there's somebody that has an apology. Maybe that clears those clouds. I also feel like this has something to do with leaving the comfort zone, because this person's going to be a little waterlogged, but it looks like they're pleasantly okay with that. And this does say you have to leave the comfort zone in order to grow and expand. Even if you're going back to the drawing boards and learning something brand new, or this is a brand new partnership you get to experience, or a brand new adventure you get to go on, or path you never even thought of walking along, there's always room for a new chapter, you know, for a new part of your story. Even if you feel like you've done it all, let's just say this is a new place you're working, project you're working on, or person you're with. If that is a newer energy, you're at the beginning of, you know, the intro of that book. You got to get more into the story. It's not going to be a cookie cutter, you know, exact replica of exactly what you went through, because you're the phoenix here and you are different. So it also looks like there is a kingdom back there. That person left the, you know, left the office, left the couch. Just heard nothing's gonna stop them now. And why am I thinking that that's a song, but I can't think of what it is? Nothing's gonna stop us now? Why does that make me think of the movie Mannequin? Is there a, wow, that was like brain files very fuzzy here. Is there a song that has something to do with never, you're not gonna stop it now, or something like that? That's from the movie Mannequin. Maybe somebody felt like a mannequin before. Maybe I just had to hear that at the end of this, because that was a really weird thing to come through. Maybe somebody felt like they were just feeling a little plastic in their life, and now something magical is going to come through, connecting you to past lives. Wow, I haven't seen that movie in so long, and all of a sudden you are coming alive. Also, there's something with that Mannequin movie where it was them getting super creative with those store windows and thinking of a way to present something that nobody else ever thought of, going back to whatever that idea with the glowing golden light bulb that I saw before is. So I guess that's circling us back to the beginning. So I hope something came through that was helpful for you today. Let's just get you one final message, and I'll just read it, because I do have these spirit messages. Let me get my readers on, because I know I'm going to need them for this one. What is the final message, please and thank you? Final message that would be the most helpful today. Self, that's whatever I saw before on somebody having like keen, deep self-awareness. Self-awareness is key. Take time today to go within, go down deep, face those shadows you didn't want to see before, you didn't even know were there, and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk. Where's your little guy here? Doesn't matter if it's raining, go for a walk in nature. Meditate, listen to your favorite music. That's whenever I saw that person just kind of sitting in your car, you know? I feel like some of you even like pull over because you see something like a beautiful park or something like that, and you're like, I'm just gonna pull over and like look at this beautiful lake. Or I don't know, I actually see somebody now looking at like the hustle and the bustle of the city too. Whatever you enjoy, we're going back to this. Whatever it is you enjoy, do that today. What do you enjoy? You have a mission today. You know, put a little of that, going back to the beginning here, fun, joy, excitement, even if that excitement is relaxation and just chillaxing for you. And with this, I bid you adieu. Thank you for giving this reading a thumbs up. I appreciate you being here. I love you so much. Thank you for being part of my soul family, and I very much look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.